And we're back with some more Factorio. Definitely Factorio, not a heavily modded RimWorld. Sorry, there was some confusion in the last episode. But yes, right now what we've done is we've stuck together some stone production because we need bricks. And the reason we need bricks is so we can put down better furnaces. So that's the only real major upgrade, and oh my god. I just realized that some of those iron mines down there are looking a little bit sparse. I don't like to place the mines down in the middle. I usually start on the edges and work my way in. It's just, I don't know, that's how my brain prefers to do it. It's probably not great. Huh. Also, I have installed a mod. The mod is, here it is, Anti-Gloom, Brighter, Less Dark Nights. It was just, people couldn't see what was going on in the middle of the night because, well, the game's not really designed for that. This here allows us to change how dark it gets at night. I'm going to put this to about 50%, just so it's just more visible for people. And would you look at that? Despite it being nighttime, it's actually very visible what's going on. Much better. Well, that makes me think that something's gone wrong with the power. I may have I let the coal run out again. Damn it! One second, we can fix this super quick. Now, the great thing about these is, these burner inserters, they don't actually require electricity to run. Now let's just stack these up. No point messing about. Whew. And we'll keep you nicely full. How is our actual power drain looking? Oh my god. We may be actually drawing a little bit more power than I was anticipating. We might want to expand that just a tiny bit. Right, a little bit more power on the grid. Yeah, we got more than enough to tide us over. Perfect. It was probably drawing a lot more because it had just recently started up. Now, a few techs have actually come through. One of the main ones we want to look into now is improved smelters. You get a lot of upgrades very quick at the start. So this one here requires 10 stone bricks and 6 steel plate to make. So we have been stockpiling a little bit of steel for this. And the great thing about these smelters is they're just more efficient, better, and the same size as... Ooh, 1 second, we're going to take all those bricks. As the regular ones. So this one here, crafting speed is 2. This one here, crafting speed is 1. So this one produces twice as much pollution, but does it, but crafts twice as fast. So it's not quite an efficiency improvement, it seems. It's just more of a production improvement. Anyway, give me about 20 of those. What the hell? Spoilage. Burnable fuel? Oh, I think what happened was the fish that I had picked up have gone off. So they have a lifespan now? I didn't realize that. Alright. What we can do, though, is just plop these over. And done. I think the next one I'm probably going to want to do is steel. Yeah, we want to double steel production. In fact, we might increase that even further. I think we need more steel because we're... 1 second. So, simple enough plan. We've basically converted these 3 over to being steel furnaces. They take iron plate from over here, and then they only take coal from here. Turns out they've changed it so now all inserters can be filter inserters. So these things will only pick up coal, and then the other side brings in the steel plate, and then they spit out the steel onto this transport belt over here, which goes down to this chest. Yeah, we're going to be storing stuff in chests for a while. That increases efficiency, and you down here... Actually, that's a lot of stone bricks. We can finally start making a whole bunch of walls. Now, I was advised that you can use a few other things to wall in your gun turrets. Namely, piping is very highly recommended, and stone furnaces. Both of them, it seems, are very useful. They just have hit points, and they're pretty cheap and efficient to throw down. But I want to stick with walls. It just seems more thematically appropriate. Now, I want to put down a few extra gun turret ranges. We've got 1 blob of guns there, 1 there. We've got another blob over here. We've got 3 over there. That needs to go. I need to make a gun turret stash there, and there. Like 3 or 4. Give me like 3 or 4 more of those. Should keep us reasonably safe. And then we can concentrate on killing biters. We are currently researching up to automobiles. And once we get cars, we can run around the place. There is still a few problems we face, though. Namely, we're still running on coal, and I haven't automated the delivery. I maybe should get around to doing that first before I put in the gun turrets. But I think the gun turrets would be better because that would keep us safer. Well, that's where they're coming from. We managed to aggro them. Oop. Yeah, this place should be fine. We'll just stick in a wall around this and that'll stop them, and then we can go around killing that nest. Alright, defensive perimeter installed. We've got turrets pretty much looping around the entire base just to stop annoyances from, well, bothering us while we go and do some clearance. Now, how are we looking on those cars? Oh, damn, the cars hasn't done it. You know what? We'll push that over to there. Research is... Oh my god, do we need another research lab? This is so slow, the research labs can't actually eat it all. I should probably put in a few more. Let me check the electricity first. Yeah, we can afford more research labs. Much better. Hopefully it'll speed it along a bit. Some of the researches are just really slow to do. Now, we need to get red logistics for some reason because you can't get automobilism unless you have the red logistics 2 down. But once we've got that down, we should be able to drive around a car and go kill some stuff. In the meantime, we might want to stock up on some resources, namely grenades. We're going to want a bunch of those for blasting things, and we should probably make some piercing rounds and magazines as well. How much steel we got in storage? Yeah, that looks like a decent amount of steel. Oh, actually, another thing we should invest in is improved assembly machines. It's just, okay, pollution out of this is 4 per minute. This is 3 per minute, and it crafts faster. I think a few of these would definitely help cut down on our pollution. Will cost us more power, though. Yeah, despite only being 25% faster, they cost more electricity. I'm not sure what that works out at in terms of, well, we're burning coal to power everything, so it's probably better. Plus, it makes things move faster. There we go. Every single assembler has been upgraded to level 2. We just basically, you can plop them down right over the old one and it just takes all the settings, everything keeps continuing, and yep, that has definitely spiked power demand. That is fine. It's also probably going to drive up... Our pollution crowd has remained remarkably stable, I must say. Oh yes, we are going to have to start going out and clearing areas. What's that? That is stone. Damn it. Copper. Still no coal. There's oil. At least we can get flamethrowers up and running when the time comes. Without any coal, things are going to get hairy. We need more coal. A little bit of an upgrade to our power production, and I think that'll stabilize us a bit. It's always just a little upgrade here, then another upgrade there, and then you're like, wait, what was I doing again? Oh yes, I was supposed to be getting cars and ammunition and grenades. I'll get around to it eventually, okay? Also, we had to upgrade the mines down here because we weren't producing enough ore to keep all those furnaces fed. This is this is not quite spaghetti, but it's definitely not clean. It's definitely pretty messy. I just want to secure a starting beachhead so that we can sort of probably build a nice little base in here. A small little compact thing to knock us out the first 4 or 5 researches. Well, we're getting a lot of alerts from over here, and I think, yeah, it finally got to the point where they're becoming dangerous enough to actually break through walls. I think we've got to go up top really quick and take care of that base. First up, though, double walling. There you go. Should make it far harder for them to assault that. Now, grenades. Give me like about 20 of them. Here we go. 5, 10, 15. Okay, give me 20 grenades. We'll have to get around to automating them later, but for now we just need to clear out that base up there. But first I'm going to have a quick check down here and make sure everything's fine. Well, our base is slowly doing what it's meant to do. Basically, knock out all of this research. All the low-end stuff. Ooh, we're going to need oil as well. We're going to have to queue that up. And trains. I want to do a mass train playthrough of just like lots of train belts and weird stuff like that. Solar also helps take the pressure off our coal. We might look a bit into that. And trains, yeah, we're definitely going to need those, so we'll queue those up too. And, ooh, yep, that's the base over there. Oh, I've also increased the size of the UI. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, they've gotten tougher. That was not great. I'm going to go, yeah, get some fish before we start this. Yeah, you can just catch fish in ponds or, well, any kind of water will contain fish. And then what we're going to do is, well, use some turrets, and we're going to do some turret creep. Turret creep is the main way of dealing with these, but I think they might be too tough already to turret creep. They just took too much damage, yeah. So, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I remember this now. Oh god. I should have brought more turrets. Well then, we'll just repair you real quick. Pick you guys up. And then we'll probably place more of you here. I think I'm gonna, like, run back and forth between these two spots. Yeah, give me some grenades. Yeah, oop, watch it. Ah! Yeah, that's perfect. Why won't that actually fire? I'm pretty sure I hit the right click already. 1 second. Fish will heal us. Grenades will throw them. Okay, that actually works. Perfect. Then... It slowly kills the spawners. I think I'm going to need more grenades. Yeah, this was terribly inefficient. And yeah, we're down to 1 grenade. Okay, we'll call this a trial run. It went not great. We're going to have to do some changes here. We're going to need to come back with armor-piercing ammo and a lot more grenades. I think we need to industrialize our production maybe a little bit. If we're going to have to upgrade everything, then we're going to have to start running transport belt with copper about the place. Let me think about this for a second. That copper needs to get shunted over here. So either we bring over the copper ore. Yeah, we're probably going to bring over the copper ore and we'll place it down here. Then we're probably going to rotate the stone. Yeah, we're probably going to go with a more traditional style transport block down here. Damn it. So, the plan. We're basically going to sort of duplicate this little setup here, but make it a little bit longer. This whole tacked on piece here will have to be moved at some point. But for now, we want to make sure that copper goes in here and stone as well and keep all of them in a straight line. Yeah, we're going to need copper, stone, iron, and we're going to need to start getting in steel smelters. We basically got to redo a whole bunch of stuff. Now, in fact, I think we're just going to delete all of this for now. Yeah, that can all go. Also, I will occasionally have to stop and fix the walls. Yeah, there's no doing anything about that. And to duplicate these out, we're going with the simple method of getting a blueprint, so I don't have to remember everything. Yeah, create blueprint. Cool. And done. And then it just places down a nice ghost setup so we can see where we have to put them all, and we should be able to churn this out pretty quick. One of the things we need to do is bring coal over here. The reason we want coal brought in, like, I have currently been manually going over to our coal way over here, grabbing it out of the chests and marching it across. That is just slow and time consuming. I prefer to automate that so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Else I'm going to have to go up and repair those guns again. The problem with laying transport belt through forests is the trees get in the way. So what you usually end up doing is this. You run in a straight line, you hold down right click, and you start chopping down everything that gets in your way. Going to end up with too much wood, but that is okay. And then... Oh, no, we didn't want to do that. Then we want to head up this direction. Perfect. And we should just be able to slot in a transport belt on this route. Oh. Did that automatically go underground? That is actually kind of cool. I didn't realize that it implemented something like that. And it happened again. 1 second. We'll do a little bit more deforestation. Okay, that was cool. That automatic thing, I vaguely remember that from somewhere. But yes, that is one of those quality life improvements that just made life so much easier. I would like to thank the devs for that. Alright, you. We're going to need a couple more iron chests to store this. Right. Done, done, and done. Now, that should provide us with more than enough coal to take care of all of the smelting and power requirements. Now we just got to thread it through this system, and it should be just fine. Though I think I'm going to put in a 4th smelting column, just to be safe. Yeah, if we put that in right here, it should make life a little bit simpler. Right, this next bit is a plan as old as time. I think it's lost to the mists of time who invented this particular strategy, but you come in, you come out, and then what you do is, boom. Yeah, so the coal goes on that way. Then you continue forward, and you come in, you come out, and you do this again. Now what happens is, this starts filling up this line with coal. Once this is over, well, and half of it gets sent off this way, and it just keeps passing the coal, daisy chaining it along, and, oh, damn it, and done. Now we should be getting coal. Yeah, that's a lot of biters. I need to get armor. I need a lot more armor-piercing ammo, and I need it soon. We might be a little bit late getting around to all of this. Normally, you're supposed to speed run a lot of this, but you know it's been a while, so we're lazily taking our time, which is probably not a good idea. But it'll be fine, probably. You. We need you. Oh, I think we just severed a power line between there and the back of the base. So we just need you to come all the way out here. And then what we're going to do is have you feed into the power supply. We just need to get... Yeah, there. Perfect. And I'm out of transport belt, but that's okay. We've actually got transport belt being produced over here. And it's stockpiled for just such an occasion when I forget to make more. Give us 300 more of that, and that should solve coal. Then it's just a case of putting in copper. Once we get copper down here, we're golden. Perfect. Right, that means we no longer need to worry about running out of power over there so long as the coal keeps flowing. We don't have to worry about refilling our smelters. Excellent, that just takes care of a bunch of annoyance. Now that we do have to put in stone and copper, we do need to put in some smelters for them. All we did is we ran the stone back here. It's going into these two smelters. We're going to be a little bit slow on the stone for now, but I don't see any real need to expand it. Also, has this thing... Yeah, our science has stopped for the moment, and I think I'm actually okay with that. That should cause our pollution cloud to shrink down, because we'll stop polluting, and we should maybe focus a little bit more on going for efficiency modules. I was just thinking if we head down the route for these things, they can reduce our amount of pollution. My understanding, or my vague recollection, and reading some of the comments have reminded me that what basically causes the biters to evolve and get tougher and tougher, like if we had a ram to try and take out those bases early on and just got some normal ammo and a few grenades, we could have taken it out. But because we left it, we've now got armored biters, and the armored biters are so tough that we can't actually pan through them fast enough, which is why we're in the position we are right now. And you, I think... Actually, I'm going to take the copper down this direction, and we'll put you parallel to this. A little bit of rejigging. We ripped out all the copper smelting over here. Oh, and we left some copper ore behind. We'll find a use for you. Then all of that just comes straight down here, and we threaded through the forest, which we had to chop down a whole bunch more trees. This is why everyone hates trees in this game. They just keep getting in the way of your building. Really, white grenades are amazing. All right, and then that's going to come all the way down over here and get fed into these smelters, which will extend on just a little bit. I'm thinking... Ooh, yeah, let's have just 6 for now. We're going to have to upgrade this later, but for now, we're just going to get it started. Okay. Stone, done. Copper, done. Iron, well, okay, that was already done, but we need to basically move all of this out of the way. And we're going to need to make it the correct length. Damn it, how long are smelter columns supposed to be? 24 on each side. Alright, so this is 13 long. So... that's about 24. Yeah, perfect. In that case, we can extend that out to about there. We just need to know exactly how long it's going to be, and then we'll put the production afterwards. This entire thing is just going to be for smelting. We're going to take in raw materials here, turn it into processed plate, or copper, or steel, or stone, or bricks, or whatever the hell it is. And then from there, we'll then turn it into something else. We'll put in sort of a semi-main bus up here to help out. Oof, or maybe we'll take a right angle. Actually, no, we'll go straight on. We're going to have to plow through that enemy base at the end. Now, this here is pretty much all we need for now. But this over here, I think I want steel. Reason being is we want to immediately get into armor-piercing ammo, so having steel on hand would be simpler. Problem is, these little things aren't really designed for steel. For steel, you need to get iron ore, turn it into iron plate, then you turn the iron plate into steel. So, one second, I was doing a little bit of fiddling on the side, and I think I have an idea for a design that's not horrendous. I mean, it's mildly horrendous, but it could be worse. Very simple plan here. We're going to need about... give me a bunch of red arm inserters. Okay, so here's what happens. This guy over here is going to get iron ore and coal, and this inserter is going to feed it into this smelter. This smelter is going to turn it into iron plate. This big long arm inserter is going to pick that up, dump that all the way across into this one over here. This one over here is going to grab coal, and only coal. Wait, no. There we go. Only coal. Perfect. In fact, we'll copy you along there. Boom. So that means it gets coal from one side, it gets iron plate from the other, and that means this will produce steel. And then for the output, we'll dump all of that to there. Yeah, that should work. We only need about 3 or 4 of those to start. Perfect. Now we just gotta take it for a spin. Actually, you go down there. What we want to do is plug in a whole bunch more iron ore. Yeah, we're gonna go through the iron ore a lot, aren't we? In fact, do we have enough? No, we're gonna need a bunch more electric miners. Alright, let's plug her in. You. This entire right side here doesn't need any iron ore, but it's just... Well, it looks consistent, and this should work. The question is, will these be able to keep up with the iron plate production? They appear to be. Perfect. And then we've got steel, and does the steel go out on the line is the question. Guys? I asked you a question. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, perfect. Now, I do have some steel plate lying around the place. Yeah, this stuff. In which case, you guys can all go. Yeah, I don't think you're necessary anymore. Oh boy. That's not great. That is not great at all. That is really not great. It's okay, it's okay. Our pollution cloud is not shrinking. But, no, it's fine. We've got steel up and running now. Steel is just about sorted. That means we can immediately put down ammo production. We need armor-piercing ammo, and we need it like 5 minutes ago. We finally have the start of a sort of main bus. You. We're going to want to break off bits and pieces of you to make our build. So, first up, we want to create the basic firearms magazines. Actually, let's do this in reverse. That's the best way to do these things. So, piercing round magazines. Requires copper plate. That's on the bus. Requires steel plates. On the bus. Requires firearm magazine. That is not on the bus. Okay, firearm magazine. What do you require? You require iron plate. Alright, so we need iron plate, copper plate, and steel, and then we're done. That's it. Okay, so we'll put you... we'll give ourselves a little bit of space. How many tiles is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles? Yeah, I think 5 tiles from the main bus, as they call it, should be grand. Now you... And... done? Yeah, that seems about fine. Now, we're going to need copper as well. How do we get copper out of there? It's been a while since I've done this. I'm trying to remember how to pull stuff off a bus without making an absolute mess of everything. Alright, steel is going to need to come off as well. So, like this? Yeah, something like that. Oh, nope. I'm going to need you to turn. There you go. Perfect. And then copper would be something similar, but we're going to have copper come at the far side, right? Yeah, so we want copper to go across here. And... done. Okay. You. Paste that there. And... what I forgot is we want to direct insert that stuff. So this needs to go directly in there. And this needs to go directly in there. What we're going to do is we're going to double up. We're going to double the production of ammo just so that we have as much as we possibly can. We probably won't need the double production, but I'd prefer to have it, not need it, than need it and not have it. I wonder what the output amount is on these. Like, are we actually going to be able to keep up with the output is the question. Give me a couple of chests. I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I suppose we'll find out when we turn it on. If those red inserters can't keep up, the red inserters are pretty slow compared to other stuff. So if they can't keep up with this, we may have to actually do something else with them. As in, we may have to put these directly into boxes much closer by. How are you looking? No? They're keeping up. Okay. Now what we can do is we can start ripping some of this stuff down. I was going to get into solar energy, but that seemed a little bit far-fetched considering you're almost going to die from lack of piercing ammo. In fact, I think I'm going to take this piercing ammo now and maybe replace some of the ammo up top. Well, when we get some more. Ugh, this is incredibly slow. Checking the numbers, we're actually making about 30 boxes, or 30 rounds of this, or 30 mags of this per minute. The other ones, the yellow ones, we were producing about, I think actually the same amount in the previous setup. 45 when we upgraded, so 30 to 45, yeah, this should be reasonably fast. We're also going to chuck down some grenade production. It's going to be pretty slow, but grenades take a long time to make, and we'll limit that to, say, a couple of stacks. A couple of stacks of grenades should help us out when it comes time. Okay, so that's weaponry starting to be produced so that we can start taking out the nest up there. That's the main goal. Then we're also going to want to get our hands on a vehicle. Here we are. Now, you need an engine unit. So, how do we build those? Here we are. Engine unit. 1 steel, 1 gear, 2 pipes. And it's pretty handy. And we need 8 of them. And we'll just manually do that. Steel, gear, and pipe. Easy peasy. Steel. Done. Gears. Where did I put those? We could make some, but I think I've got some production down here. Yeah, just give me a quick line of those. Done. And then we just need some pipe, which I'm pretty sure we've got a bunch in storage. And this is what peak performance looks like. We just hand-fed a bunch of steel, iron gears, and pipes into this machine, and it's spinning us out the motors. And I think we have 8. Can we handcraft this? Oh my god, we can handcraft a car. Cool. We should fuel it with something, but we don't have anything good. I think coal's all we've got. Alright, one thing I want to use this for. Nope, wrong one. Ah, damn it. Yep, okay, I had it backwards. Got, yep, yeah, no, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's good. We're just going to avoid those telephone poles. We're not going to accidentally sever half of our base because of that. Now, what we should be able to do is just take all of this and dump it into the storage in this. I want to get all this coal out of here and move it over to grenade production. Nope. There's an attack. Hopefully it's not a strong one. We're getting our ammo up and running. We'll be fine. Oh. Well, they didn't kill anything except a wall segment, and we'll probably double wall that now. Alright, we have 53 grenades, and 100 armor-piercing machine gun rounds in the turret. And, oh, no, wrong way. And we got a nest up here that needs killing. We might want to, like... I need to avoid that rock, and I need to avoid trees. They will mess us up. We crash into trees or rocks, we're so boned. So let's maybe come in from this side. And... Oop. Get rid of those trees. And get rid of those... Oop. Ooh. Ah! It's another rock! No! To have your inevitable betrayal. Oh yeah, and another tree got us. Okay, fine. We'll back off just a little bit. We'll heal up. And you can die. Perfect. That was incredibly awkward. Ooh. Right. Okay then, let's go back in here. Damn it! I swear to God, the trees just, they're evil. Let's go, let's go. Come on. Die, you evil Muppets. Ah! Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. All we're left with is spawners. And I ran out of grenades. Damn it, I'm an idiot. Damn it! Whew. Okay, that was horribly messy. And there's another rock. I need to zoom in a bit more when I'm doing this. Alright, we're back. Let's do this. And I automatically just drove right into the trees because I was too busy trying to shoot grenades. Oh, wow. It actually... Nice. Okay. Armor-piercing ammo for the win. That gets rid of the closest nest. Just need to be a little bit more careful. God, I wish we could get our hands on the tank. Been ages since I used that, but the tank was far more fun. It goes straight through the rocks. We got the close-by base destroyed. That frees up that area. I think I'll go wipe out this one as well. Oh, there's coal. 1.2 million coal. And how did I not see that? That has been clearly visible for ages. All right, we go wipe out this base. That secures coal reserves. Oh, there's going to be so much stuff to wipe out. Is there any other tech we can get at this level that could help us out? Ah, flamethrower turrets. They'd actually be kind of useful. Oil gathering, pretty handy. Oil processing, yeah, that would immediately come after that. Then flammables, then flamethrowers. That seems very, very doable. What I want to do, though, is move all of this research. Nice that it has been putting that there. We kind of need to make something a little bit more permanent. And with our pollution cloud going down, we actually have a little bit more breathing room. Actually, no, kill those guys first, then. Ooh, copper. We'll kill these guys first, then we'll go do that. I'm gonna go replace some of the ammo we have lying around with the new high-end stuff. And this should be fairly handy. All we do is we just rip the ammo out of these ones. Easy peasy. Perfect. And that should be that. Once they've grabbed 40, we'll leave them 100 rounds. That should be more than sufficient to keep that place good. And then we'll slowly upgrade all of these as we go on. It's just right now we can't afford to get... Well, we don't have enough ammo for all of them. Alright, we got 43 grenades. This actually looks smaller than the last one. And those trees are on the edges are going to be a problem. Alright, what we need to do is get the worms. Once the worms are down, this whole thing becomes a lot easier to deal with. There we go. Oop. We'll occasionally toss one at the... Oh, nope, rocks! Watch out. A couple of grenades also will take care of trees, so... Damn it, I missed. I need to, like, stay on this side, I think. Yeah, perfect. And then we'll juke these guys. Come back in. Grab a couple of shots. Nope. Gain a little bit of distance. Come back in again. Perfect. Now we just got to do the same from the other side. Once we get rid of the actual worms, the spitters, it's actually much easier. Quick dip back in. And yeah, that got rid of the trees, or most of them. Up. God, nope, 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 nope. That went badly wrong. Emergency grenades to keep ourselves alive. Then, yeah, there's a couple more of them over here. There we go. We just got one more of those spitter things to go, and we're finished with the dangerous ones. Done. Okay. Now we just got to zip around. Actually, you know what? We'll repair first, then we'll come back and bleed them out from the edge. Ooh. That was cut way, way, way too fine. And done. Okay, I'll just go ahead and double check to make sure everything's dead there, but I think we've bought ourselves some breathing room. Also, I do believe that is a bunch of coal. Nice. Okay, so we've secured ourselves a little bit more breathing room for now. The closest patch of additional iron we can find is up there. It's 440k. It's about twice as much as we currently got. A little bit under. We do have a patch of coal now as well to draw on, so yeah, we're probably going to be expanding over here and here to secure those. But for now, we need to actually improve our production. Right now our science is off and all that, and we really need to get that spinning up again. First up though, green circuits. We're going to make a little green circuit build, and that should be fairly straightforward, even if it has been a while. Since time immemorial, back in the ancient past, this is how you make green circuits. You go there and you go there. You get 3 copper cablers, you get 2 green circuits, and the copper cable feeds directly into the green circuits, and boom, you'll get yourself your green. Your green just requires the copper cable and iron plates, so iron plate will come in here on this line. Copper will come in on that line. Actually, we don't need a second line here. We just need copper plate to come in here to get turned into copper cable. And... oh, I did that wrong. Damn it! There's one thing that bothers me about this. It's... when it comes to this, you have to output the green circuits, and you have to input the blue, but you can't leave too much of a gap. Like, if we try to use red inserters here, it won't work. The throughput is way too high. The red long arm inserters are much too slow. You need one of those quick blue ones. So we need to pull in iron plate from here, and then somehow still manage to output the green circuits at the same time. Okay, I think that will work. We'll output the greens onto these, or the green chips onto these things, and the iron plate should come in here and get fed in, and there should be no slowdown. Is the theory. Now we just gotta feed the whole thing. Iron plate connected. Ooh, that green circuit's gonna be a pain in the butt. Can we make red belts yet? Yes, we can. I need 40 iron gears, which means I need a bunch of iron plate. You know what? A red belt or a red fast underground would be perfect. Okay, copper goes in the back. I should really extend on these belts, but, you know, for now, we just want to get this up and running. Green's going good, and then we want to get that red belt. That can jump a good 6, right? Yeah, perfect. That means it could jump the whole way across. And boom, we then have you come across one tile, and now we have green circuits on the belt. What we're trying to do here is... basically this. We're going to have 4 belts here, 4 belts here, then 4 belts here as necessary, and we just keep adding on more stuff as we need it. And anytime, well, someone's got to get across this section, we just go, oh, you can hop across that like that, and you can hop across that like that. Something along those lines. And this is just something that has been developed over years of playing the game. It just became standard. Actually, relatively early on, this became the standard. And it's stuck because it's just efficient. Okay. We've got our defenses kind of stable for now. Some of them still need to be upgraded. We have to get a decent amount of ammunition. Nope. We'll do that in a minute. Now, what we want to do is we want to set up red and green science, but like a substantial red and green science setup. We're going to want about, I want to say 5? I think it's 5 to 4, 5 to 6. 5 red, 6 green, something along those lines. Actually, let me check the calculator. Yep, it's 5 to 6. So we need 5 red science assemblers and 6 green science assemblers. We're probably going to have to take out this forest, or at least parts of it. But thankfully, we have grenades, so much faster. Oh. Okay, I know I shouldn't be wasting grenades like this, but it's just so cathartic to blow trees up. This is going to be our basic red science. This is an old design. I don't even know where it comes from. It's that old. Maybe it's mine. Maybe it's someone else's. Honestly, at this point, who knows? Right, very simple. Iron plates get turned into gears, gears get spit out the other side. Then down here, we have... Ooh, 1 second, is that yellows? Yeah, definitely yellows. We don't need anything too fancy here. We have these guys bringing in copper plate. And with the copper plate and the gears, that's it. That's all it takes to make red science. Red science is super cheap and easy. Finished. Now we got to put in blue science on top of it. Might take a little bit longer. That one's a bit of a bigger build. Are we going to have enough space? Yeah, we'll probably be fine. This is basically just a repeat of the green science we did last episode, but with a little bit extra juice to it, as in it's just longer. So, because we've got green circuits on the bus, we specifically did it just to make this easier. We can feed those directly into making the inserters. In fact, I should start at the beginning. This thing requires inserters and transport belt. It's basically iron with extra steps, except for the inserters, because they require green circuits. And by making green circuits separately down here on their own, we effectively make it that all that is required for this is iron. We basically plug in iron here. That will feed into both the transport belt and the gear manufacturing, and that takes care of all the things that are not green circuits. Then we spit out the inserters, and we spit out the transport belt, and we just feed that into the green, these green things, and done. In fact, we should probably use cheaper inserters. We don't need anything too crazy. Okay, I think we're ready to switch this on. Literally all it needs is iron plate. We might need to upgrade our iron plate production after this, though. Nah, that will be fine, actually. Okay, that starts flying down there. Done. That starts up. Why have you not started up? Nope, that's the wrong way. So, gears go from here into there. Okay. Is this thing able to keep up with this? Huh. It might need to backlog. According to the calculator, these should be able to keep up. The gear machine should be able to keep up with them, but I think this is going to have to backlog the amount of stuff in it. Now, where are you coming at? Ugh, that is awkward. Did not want those guys coming out there. Tell you what. What we want to do is combine the green and the red on the same transport belt. Thing is, we want that green to come in on... Well, we need to, like, half red, half green belt. The problem is they're both on... Like, the greens are on that side. Maybe if we do... Actually... Aha! There we go. We basically run a belt by... Perfection. And then... Done. Right? And we've combined the two. Easy peasy. How's the gears looking? I think the gears have almost caught up. Transport belt is not quite maxed out, but will be shortly. Once the transport belt maxes out, I think it'll back up on that range too. Now, I'm just going to let this backfill for a minute because, well, once we turn this on, our pollution is going to go absolutely mental. Because we will be producing about twice as much science, if not more, than we were previously. In fact, let's start sticking in the science labs. Time to plug this in. I'm pretty sure it's going to murderize our pollution rates. But that's fine. Solar production is 19% finished already. Cool. We may have to go out and start killing some more of these nests. I think we have no choice. We'll probably have to grab a bunch of ammo, some turrets, and probably position ourselves. Thing is, before we've been dipping in and out in the car, and that kind of works, but the problem is it's still risky. It comes with an element. You stopped making grenades? How did I miss that? I kind of gave this thing loads of coal, but not enough it seems. We may have to start siphoning off some coal from the main line, but I don't want to spend too much coal just yet, not until we've secured a larger area to live in. I'm pretty sure the biters aren't gonna like this amount of pollution. Yeah. I think the next plan is annihilate that base, that base, that base, and that base. I gotta go out and clean out those 4 bases just so that we don't have any more troubles for a while. Right now that we're... Well, production-wise, if we check for the last minute, how are we looking on research? Only 27. We can actually increase that by building more science labs. I don't want to crank up the production just yet. Not until we maybe buy ourselves a little bit more room. We're starting to see spitters among the biters. So they're spitting at the turrets, which means they've got ranged enemies that can attack us. So, yeah, you can see them in there. Let's see what happens. Where did it... Yep, they're going to aggro towards here. Now, the armor pierce does much better. But you see those guys on the edge? They actually did some damage. That's not going to get better. That's going to start getting worse. So we need to jump on top of that. And maybe clear out the bases so we don't have to deal with them for a while longer. I've went all around the outside edges of the base, and we have upgunned everything. Everyone has at least 100 rounds of armor pierce. At the same time, I'm not sure if we should build solar panels. I think it might be an idea. solar panels are copper, steel, and green circuits. We could start making solar panels, and they'll only work during the day, but that doesn't matter. It basically will reduce our footprint of pollution because it'll cause the boilers to not be operating. Actually, what is the pollution of these is 30 a minute. 30? Oh, wow. So, compared to, say, a steel furnace, which is only 4, an assembler, which is only 3, yeah, that's huge. If we could maybe even get those to turn off for part of the day by just plugging in a whole bunch of solar, that might be an idea. I did a bit of a scout, and I'm thinking we can wall in across here. I think that's cliffs. So we could wall in all across here, wall in across here, wall in here. Like, kill all the bugs inside, of course. Wall in here. We can basically just start walling down areas. So if we clear out the bugs, wall places up, put in a few turrets, that'll stop any expansion parties. We could actually do quite nicely out of this if we do play our cards right. And that will not net us a huge amount of resources, but there should be enough to at least get us to some of the higher end tech. Like, there's plenty of iron around there. Coal is in a little bit short supply. Oil, the only patch we can find is over there, but that's a decent enough yield, I think. Yeah, I think we got this. Actually, 1 second. Turn that off. Yeah, I think that would be the plan. While we're knocking at all these researches, murder all these bases, wall the places up, like murder them all the way out to here. And then, like, just find natural barriers or water or something like that. Put down a few turrets, maybe daisy chain a few together, and... 1 second. Did you kill my Jeep while I was just... Oh, that... Oh, you killed the Jeep, but you were like, we're not going to kill you? I mean, I feel slightly insulted, but I'm kind of okay with that. That was a very sloppy place for me to hang out. Anyway, next up, wall the place in and get on to the next 2 sciences. I want to get straight into the military sciences next. I want to get into military science and then blue science in the next episode. We want to get straight through oil. We're going to have to go out and tap into some oil first before we can even unlock that tech. I want to get straight into flamethrowers. We can use those on the walls, and piping liquids around the place just makes it so much easier to burn them down. Anyway, this was Factorio. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck. And we're back with some more RimWorld.